Hi there, and welcome to Dr. Doug's Daily Tips on how to write great LDS church music. Today we are looking at hymn number 97, Lead Kindly Light. With each of these videos, we're looking at a hymn or primary song that already exists that you have access to, and we're digging out some great little composition lessons, little tools, little tactics that you can borrow from the hymns and primary songs we sing all the time and add them into your music. Okay? So in hymn 97, there's a lot of beautiful things going on. But the one I want to draw your attention to today are what we call melismas and also some extensions. Okay, so as you can see, I've circled a bunch of things in red here. When this hymn begins, at the top of the hymn, we get a syllable for each note in the melody. Lead kindly light amid the encircling. And then on the word gloom, we get two notes for one syllable. Gloom. That's what we call a melisma. Okay, a melisma is two or more notes of music for one syllable of text. And some composers go kind of crazy with melismas. If you've ever heard Handel's Messiah, for unto us a child is born, and on and on and on and on and on. All those 16th notes, that's a long melisma on one syllable of text. Well, Lead Kindly Light uses that idea, but with shorter melismas, but it's a really key feature of the song, of the hymn, excuse me. So we get one there at the beginning with gloom. We get another one in the alto. See, the alto does the same kind of thing here at the end of the line, and the tenor participates, and then the tenor keeps it going. And even before that, the bass and tenor do kind of this long melisma in the bass. So these melismas, they extend the expression of the melody in a special way. Okay, it's almost like pulling on your heartstrings a little bit. It's a really fantastic way, as the composer uses here, to end the phrases with a little extra emotional juice. Okay, now you don't always have to do this in the melody. So this first one happened in the melody, but as you see here, the same idea occurs in other voices while the melody is singing just one note for one syllable. Okay, so that's a way to sort of play with the idea of the extension or the melisma in other voices. So we go to the second line, which is very, very similar, almost identical to the first line, but the melismas are slightly different. We get the same melisma in the soprano here on home, and this time the alto also does them, but this time it goes down instead of up. The basses have a really fun one. They get to jump down the octave, home. And so the other thing that these extensions do, especially that one, is it bridges the gap of the break in measures. So when a phrase ends, there's a natural kind of a pause, and often we breathe before we sing the next phrase. But this particular bass melisma, home, lead, it kind of connects, it covers the seams in the phrases of the hymn, which is really nice. Now, they still need to find a place to breathe, of course, but musically what it's happening here as a composer trick is we're making the hymn sound less divided into sections of 4 bars, and we're making the long line feel much longer because we're connecting the phrases with these little melismas. Okay, they continue on. We get a full SATB melisma here on the word on, soprano on, sort of the opposite direction of the opening one. The opening one, gloom, steps down, gloom, and then on the word on, sort of a reverse melisma going up instead of down, and the men on join with their melisma as well. It's a very nice end to that phrase. Then the second half of the hymn, we get more of this. Keep thou my feet, I do not ask to C. So see how we're continuing to stretch the tune, stretch the emotional line by adding these little melismas. And of course, the altos and the tenors can't help themselves. They have to extend it too, and they sing this long melisma, very like the basses did up here, but now in the inner voices, so it gets changed up a little bit. And then as you can see, I've circled some additional smaller ones in the tenor there. The tenor does another here and kind of passes the torch to the altos. Everybody gets one here. The basses are doing a whole note, but then they get this kind of special in-between note. Enough bass for me. And then everybody does the final melisma here. So this is a short little tip, but it's a great one, to take these extensions and find lots of places to add them to the texture. It makes a hymn, which is very vertical in texture usually, because everybody's singing the same rhythms at the same time. It adds some horizontal flow to the texture and the feel and the emotional expression of the hymn. So this is a fantastic tip to use in many ways. You can use this in your primary songs. You can use this in hymn arrangements. You can use this to make your piano accompaniments more connected and interesting and sustained. Okay, but hopefully you will find a fun way to grab these melismas, these extensions, and add flavor and color to your music. If you want more tips like this, stick around here in the YouTube channel. There's a bunch of videos here. And I've also got a free report for you, the 10 Commandments of writing what I call warm, fuzzy church music. You can find that over at latterdaymusiversity.com, right at the homepage. And it's a free download. When you get the download, you're also signing up for additional daily writing tips so that you can continue to improve your church music for sacrament meeting service. Okay? Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Tomorrow, I'll come back and we'll do hymn number 98. See you then.